Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the impact of San Diego wildfires on Arizona fire preparedness. A new kind of brain surgery is helping children to walk again. And an NAU professor says that the term sustainability is overused and misunderstood. The story's next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Arizona resources are ready to be used to fight San Diego area wildfires, which have burned thousands of acres and forced what we're hearing now is over 120,000 evacuations. Joining us now is Jim Payne with the Arizona Bureau of Land Management. It's good to have you here. I want to get to how much resources has been used over there. But as far as San Diego, this seems awfully early for this kind of thing.
It is. Their normal fire season comes later, August and September, when they have the Santa Ana winds, which can run into October. But pretty much 100% of the state is in drought. They only had something like a fraction of their snowpack. And in San Diego County itself had some rain, but what that did was help the fine fuels, the grasses, grow, and the brush fields they have there. You have to think about San Diego County. People build in the valleys, they build at the hilltops, the small hilltops. You have brush fields that go up the sides of those hills. So that whole area in this kind of condition with wind,
yes,
that's the primary
it's those
cause.
Offshore breezes that are really kicking the Santa Anas. Compare the drought now over in California to what we are experiencing in Arizona.
Well, we have a severe drought here. It's been going on for a number of years. The good news here is we've had some variable weather. I mean, here we were, in the 90s, 80s, and we're going back, it looks like, into the 80s next week. Once we hit the continuous over 100 degrees, 110 degrees, we're going to start seeing a lot more causes of fires here. And that's one of the things we're preparing for, is how do we keep down the human cause side of it.
As far as resources are concerned now, how much of what is designed for Arizona is being used right now in San Diego?
Actually, none of our resources have been sent over there except for one national air tanker, a DC-10 that was stationed at Williams Gateway, was sent over there to assist them with dropping retardant on those fires. So all of our resources as far as engine, hotshot crews, the municipal fire departments, everybody's staying home to make sure we're prepared here in Arizona.
So nothing compromised now, but if that thing really gets much more out of hand, you got to figure some more resources are going to be needed.
Well, the good news is in California, they have between what they call Cal Fire, their forestry department, and all the municipal fire departments who are now well versed in wildland fire, they've got a lot of resources there, so they haven't needed ours at this point.
Yeah, we're looking right now at just some of the, you look at a wildfire, that's the tragedy when you're seeing homes and things. It's a tragedy all around. As far as Arizona firefighters are concerned, are they trained? Are they ready to go?
They are absolutely ready to go and trained. Since January, folks have been preparing. What we do is called preparedness between the BLM, the Forest Service, the National Park Service, State of Arizona Forestry Division, as well as all the municipal fire departments are all partners in making sure that they're prepared for fire season. In fact, most municipal fire departments now have a wildland division, have engines and firefighters that work very closely with the federal agencies and the state.
Is that new?
No, that's been going on for quite a while. It's just that every year that cohesiveness, that coordination gets much better.
And when we talk about interagency programs and such, we're talking federal, we're talking state, and as you mentioned, we're talking local. I mean, talk about how difficult it is to get everyone in line and ready to go.
Well, that's once again training, making sure our firefighters are trained. Every March we have what's called the Arizona Wildfire Academy in Prescott. And those folks this year I was up there and we had over 800 students. Majority of them obviously from Arizona, but we actually had some from Australia. What we do here in Arizona, we are, in my mind, well advanced of a lot of other areas. We have what's called the FireWise communities, where communities do their own thinning around their structures, like what they've done in Flagstaff, Prescott, and other communities. And then, as far as the campaign we're starting now, called One Less Spark, One Less Wildfire. It's basically all the agencies together with one voice and one goal. And that's to prevent human-caused fires, which come to about 56% of the fires we have in Arizona.
Well, and I was looking already, as far as fires this year, what have we seen so far, and how much of what we have seen human-caused?
Well, right now, out of 415 fires, 403 were human-caused.
Goodness.
Only 12% were lightning-caused from earlier in the year. And San Carlos Reservation right now has 2 large fires going. And southern New Mexico and near Silver City, there's another large fire going there. These fires start throughout the spring, And really, for the intensity, May and June is our worst part. But this year it could extend even into July and August, depending on how substantial the monsoon is. Because with this variable weather, and we're ready for large fires. I mean, unfortunately, we're also ready to respond to them.
I've heard a couple of different folks on the program saying that the fire season actually looks about average from a distance. Other folks are saying, oh no, it looks much, much worse than average.
Statewide, it's probably about average. But if you look at the southeast part of the state up into central Arizona, probably higher than normal. But that could change. I mean, if we don't have this variable weather, if it stays hot and we get ignitions, any kind of source, and then winds, it'll be off to the races.
The thing, but you mentioned variable weather though, when you have the cooling trends and the heating trends, usually the cooling trends are associated with winds, and winds,
absolutely.
Not good.
Winds cure out the vegetation more, make them dry out more. And then, but it does have a modifying effect with the lower temperatures. It's that continuous high temperatures with low RHs. You know, if we get into the single-digit RHs, high temps, any kind of ignition. You know, Ted, the thing I think that surprises a lot of people, they always think of, well, human-caused fires are always from a campfire. Somebody didn't put the campfire out properly. Obviously, those do happen. You need to drown them with water. But it's the vehicle fires. If you looked at a picture or a map of the state of Arizona and you followed all the highways, the Beeline Highway, the highways that go to Wickenburg and places like that, between the BLM, the Forest Service, the Park Service, there's a clear line all along the highways, a bunch of fires. Dragging chains. Folks have a flat tire and pull to the side of the road with a rim. They park their vehicle with catalytic converter over dry grass. Falling material off of the back of a vehicle. Fires that start on private land.
Yeah.
Near Sedona a few years ago, we had somebody was welding on a fence outside a steel post fence, ignited a fire.
And that's where that information program comes into play.
The one less spark, one less fire is a campaign to really bring attention to in adult education to say to everybody, hey, think about what you're doing. Use your head, because any spark can start a fire. You get wind behind it and it goes.
Before we let you go, we've got 30 seconds left here. Are the feds, state, all firefighters, are you looking at a new normal when it comes to Arizona fire seasons because of what seems to be a new normal as far as...
We've had a new normal for a while.
Yeah.
And it's based on our drought and the conditions out there. And with changing weather, especially like you talk about, the winds coming in and then we get our high temps, especially if the average temperatures start rising, it's going to be a problem in the future. We have an average of about 2,400 fires a year in Arizona. Of those, 56% are human-caused. The rest are pretty much lightning. So the message is, folks, let's all help each other out. Let's make sure that you aren't the one who starts that fire.
All right. Jim, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ted.
The Barrow Neurological Institute at Phoenix's Children's Hospital recently performed an advanced type of brain surgery called deep brain stimulation on several children with dystonia. It marked the first time the procedure has been used successfully to treat children in Arizona. The surgery has allowed the children to walk again and perform everyday functions. Neurosurgeon Dr. Ratan Bhardwaj joins us now to discuss the procedure. It's good to have you here. This is amazing stuff. Deep brain stimulation. What are we talking about?
Ted, it's a pleasure to be here. This is a pretty amazing technology that I've seen that's kind of very humbling from a medical point of view. Technically, what we're doing is we're seeing children who are suffering from really bad movement disorders, and what we're doing while they're sleeping in the operative setting is we place electrodes very precisely in the right location, deep in their brain, Then we tunnel these leads into a battery pack, so to speak, either in the chest or the abdomen. And then 2 weeks later, we turn it on. And amazing things seem to be happening.
Oh, that's just amazing in and of itself. So basically, you go up into the brain. The wires go where? Just straight down the spine?
No, so the spine's a little lower. We try to avoid that. There's a very important part of the brain called the basal ganglia, and that's very important for how we move things. So for instance, for me to pick up the glass like this, I had to use a lot of different muscles in my hand, different tension in my tendons, and be able to pick it up. So that part of the brain is the basal ganglia, and that's precisely where we put it, specifically in a certain part of the globus pallidus interna.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a lot clearer there. So how precise, if I have a problem doing what you said, lifting the thing, how precise can you be? I mean, is it still kind of, I don't want to say guesswork, but are you still approximating, or can you really fine-tune this?
We have to be as precise as we possibly can, a millimeter or better. And we're doing this while the patients are all sleeping. Children, it's very tough to do while they're awake. So it's all placement and location. So I have an excellent operative team, and I work with a lot of people, whether it's a frame that goes on the head or the highest technology of brain imaging to make volumetric models of the brain, to make trajectories safely, avoid vessels. We put so much care and thought into this, and so far so good.
And so far you've been able to get children who have been unable, and dystonia means what? You just can't control movement?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. These are very debilitated children. So the crazy thing, it's almost like somebody who could see and went blind. These are children who are normal till they're 5 or 6, running around in the park, playing in kindergarten, and then start getting worse. And they get worse and worse and worse, and their medications don't help. So these children who I've, out of our first 2 or 3, these were wheelchair-bound children who used to be running and playing, and now basically can just maybe sometimes lift their head and watch TV. They can't eat, they can't type, they can't text, they can't run, they can't play. Their life has changed dramatically, as well as their family's life, and medicine doesn't help. DBS is the only treatment for these children.
And the treatment, you say, is successful. What constitutes success?
It's a great question. So I have a love for the brain. The brain's the most complicated thing in the universe. So when I started, I wanted to treat children with brain problems. So when I started a DBS program at Phoenix Children's Hospital, I didn't know. I said, wouldn't it be great if these children could walk again? That to me was this amazing possibility. And once we did our first child, a lovely young girl, that was the $1 million question. Sure, she could open her hand. Sure, she could finally put a shirt on by herself. Sure, she could wash her hair. But she's looking at me saying, I can't walk. But that was at 1 month. Then at about 3 months, she started walking, and with a lot of physical therapy, she's actually walking now.
I believe we have video of a patient who is literally moving legs, doing things that, again, this was on the wrong side. I mean, things were debilitating and things were deteriorating pretty fast in these kids.
But you asked me what success. I absolutely agree. What totally blew me away with this patient and is so humbling is that she told me in my clinic, "Doctor, you've made me more human." Now, from a medical point of view, I could never imagine a patient would tell me that. That means you have a 13-year-old girl who can't write, who can't speak, who can't type, text. She can't communicate with the rest of the world. Now she's writing journals. Now she's texting people. She's making Facebook friends. She's got her life back. This is so immensely more important than walking even, which is absolutely unfathomable.
And I imagine when you see something like this, when you see this little girl moving, I mean, just to look in her face, this must be so fulfilling for you.
Magical smile. Then I had another little boy who was basically wheelchair bound, rolling around in bed, losing weight and dying. Within 3 months, he's playing tennis. Although his mother says he doesn't play tennis very well.
Yeah, okay, well.
Tough mother.
Yeah,
right?
tough crowd. How does this differ from what we hear about for treatment and therapy for Parkinson's?
So, great question. So DBS, deep brain stimulation, has maybe been in over 100,000 patients, primarily with Parkinson's, and we can help these patients. I'm on the other side of the spectrum, so I'm looking at children. So amazingly, children's brains are growing and changing as opposed to an adult's brain. So how we're able to modulate the circuitry that governs their movement, their thinking, governs their mind, that's amazing. And these are things we're trying to understand better. So we're seeing dramatic improvements that I had no idea we would see when we started.
But there was some concern, maybe some caution at first, because you are dealing with developing brains, developing bodies.
And that caution and concern hasn't left at all. To take the responsibility to operate on a child's brain, we take that with immense responsibility, and I'm a very conservative surgeon. However, sometimes the most conservative thing is to do surgery.
Yes.
It's horrible watching them whittle away and not do well. We had one child yesterday, and he suffered from a problem where unless his parents were holding his hands, he was striking himself and hitting himself very hard. We've turned the system on a couple days ago, and the parents were amazed that for the first time in years they didn't have to hold his hands. Now,
Nice.
I pray and hope this keeps going in this direction, but we just, it's amazing what the limits are.
Last question here. You pray and hope it goes in this direction. These children now, they will have to wear this and have this apparatus in them for the rest of their lives.
It's become a part of them. Most surgery, we take things out. Here,
Yes.
we're putting something in. And it's a very small pack. Children love superheroes, and so do doctors, so I kind of tell them it's a little bit like Iron Man.
Yeah.
They're not going to fly, but if they can walk, I'll certainly take that.
Well, you are doing fantastic work, and this is very encouraging information. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Seen you coming, baby, coming round tonight. Don't you love me, baby? That you did last night. Well, if you don't love me, baby, don't come round tonight. Why don't you love me? Why don't you love me? Well, if you don't love me, baby, don't come round tonight. Yeah. So what am I doing here with you? Doing things that I should not do. What am I doing here with you when I promised that I'd be true? She's got lips that taste like honey.
Tonight's focus on sustainability in Arizona looks at the word sustainability. In the new book, Sustainability, If It's Everything, It's Nothing, NAU professor Zachary Smith argues that the term sustainability is so broad and overused that it's lost its meaning. Professor Smith is here now to discuss his concerns. Good to have you here.
Thank you, Ted.
This is really interesting because when we started doing our sustainability segments, one of the questions we tried to figure out was, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Well, that's a good question. And the fact of the matter is that if you ask 10 different people, you get 10 different answers. A good example of that is if you go on the ASU's School of Sustainability webpage, in the front page it says, what is sustainability? And then it quotes a bunch of people, and they all have different perceptions of it. And so I want to talk a little bit about what we wanted sustainability to mean and what it has turned into.
Well, go ahead. What did we want it to mean?
We wanted it to mean managing resources in a way that would take care of current generations and current needs and protect future generations and their needs in whatever way that they deemed fit. What's happened is that it's turned into sustainable development and sustainable growth. And most people who study this stuff think that sustainable growth is an oxymoron. And sustainable development is pretty close, because you can have sustainable development if the development doesn't involve the continual use of resources or using up your resource base beyond what's there for future generations.
Well, could it be continuing to use those resources but not at such a fast pace?
Well, imagine this. You've got $1,000. And you've got to do some activity, and you're spending $100 a day. Now, you're going to decide that you're going to be sustainable, and through sustainability, you're spending $50 a day. Well, you're still going to run through that $1,000. So unless you're spending zero, and in the book we talk about, we as Dr. Heather Farley, she's a professor at Georgia Coastal College of Coastal Georgia. we talk about rethinking sustainability and the fact that we have to have a type of sustainability that involves bringing back natural resources to where they were when we started whatever the process was. And we're not doing that.
Okay.
We examined government institutions, academic institutions, and the private sector across the board to find out who's doing what in the area of sustainability. And what we discovered is that nobody's doing anything that's really remotely sustainable, including academic institutions and including government.
Well, how, but I go back to the question then, sustainable development, sustainable growth, I mean, is it possible? And if it's not possible, does sustainability then mean the best we can? I know you write about how some folks say any change is good. Is any change good?
Well, I guess you could look at it that way. I mean, using $50 a day as opposed to $100 a day is better.
Yes.
So it means that it'll be the end of the earth and the end of the human race a little bit prolonged. So that's better. But I mean, we really are talking about the ability to support ourselves and live the lifestyles that we've become accustomed to. And most people know that. And we've used this term sustainability to fool ourselves into thinking that we're going to get there sooner by being sustainable. But we're not doing that, because most of what is being called sustainable now, or eco-friendly is another one. Everybody's sustainable, everybody's eco-friendly. But when you look carefully at, again, what government, academic institutions, and the private sector, corporate sector in particular, does that's eco-friendly and sustainable, you discover that it's really not at all. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous because it leads society into this, and the general public, it leads them into this complacency that, oh gosh, I'm buying sustainable stuff and I'm recycling and I'm doing everything right. But in fact, we're not being sustainable.
And so you want a new definition, and you want actually a new term, neo-sustainability. What does that mean?
That's correct. It means a number of things. But one of the things it means is that we have to think of, traditionally there have been three pillars of sustainability: ecology, economy, and society, and that we have to address all three of those things in order to be sustainable. What's happened in the way sustainability has been addressed now is there's been an emphasis on economy. And we have come to interpret sustainability, if we look at one of those pillars, environment's good, economy's important, society's good, but they're all equal. And that's how sustainability's been dealt with. We can't think that way. You can't have economy or society unless you've got a good environment. So everything has to come from that basis. So neo-sustainability means that we're going to think about the economy, because we want a good, healthy economy. We're going to think about environmental justice and society, because we want that as well. But it has to be in the context of what's good for the ecology and what's good for the environment. This sounds like tree hugger stuff to some people that are listening to this right now. But the fact of the matter is that if we don't have fresh air, we can't have, or good drinking water, we can't have all the other things that we want to have.
It sounds like you're focusing on improvement as opposed to maintenance. Is that in the ballpark there?
You put your finger on the most important aspect of neo-sustainability. It should not, if we continue sustainability as it's currently defined, it will ultimately lead to the destruction of natural resources. So neo-sustainability has to do what we're doing now, but it also has to be leading us to a future where we're contributing back to our resource base.
You mentioned tree huggers, and I know critics will be out there saying that this is, whatever. But it has to be realistic. It has to be something that society wants and society can grasp. Is this realistic? Can society, as we know it, can society figure this out and accept something like this?
That's a good question. This legislature is not going to do anything like that. I think that people are smart and people are willing to do what needs to be done if they're given good information in the right form. I mean, everything that I've talked about and everything that's in this book is solid science, it's well researched, and the fact of the matter is that if it were better known, I believe people would do the right thing. But they don't, because they're not getting good information. They're turning on the TV and they're thinking that this is eco-friendly, this is sustainable, when in fact it's not.
All right, sustainability, if it's everything, it's nothing. Very interesting stuff. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. The Yavapai County Attorney says she will pursue her campaign finance case against Attorney General Tom Horne. And the governor asks the state Supreme Court to toss a lawsuit against Medicaid expansion. Those stories and more Friday right here on the Journalists Roundtable. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
The Global Institute of Sustainability is the heart of ASU's sustainability initiatives, advancing research, education, and business practices for an urbanizing world. Learn more about ASU sustainability at sustainability.asu.edu/TV.